a familiar face comes to Tallahassee. He's made his rounds around the state of Florida in one Randy Shannon, Jason.
And if you want to say that you were not shocked by this, I think everyone in Garden Gold was a little bit shocked and surprised by the fact that a former Miami Hurricane player, a man who coached 20 years for the Hurricanes and the Miami Dolphins, served 4 seasons as head coach of the Canes, then went to the University of Florida after stops at TCU in Arkansas, was the defensive coordinator for 3 years, and, oh, by the way, served as an interim coach of the Florida Gators, is now our senior defensive analyst. But I'm going to tell you, Logan, and I'm going to tell you, Mark, I love it. I think that it is a phenomenal hire. I'm going to give Mike Norvell, I'm going to give the coaching staff, the people who made this hire, credit. This was a hell of a move. You know, there are some people who aren't great head coaches. I mean, he was 28-22 as a head coach at Miami, 1-3 as a head coach at the University of Florida, but he has a winning record as a head coach. He is, without a doubt, one of the best defensive coordinators in recent college football history. He was the man behind the defense for the second greatest college football team of all time, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. He was the defensive coordinator who helped turn around Florida, helped turn around UCF. And I'm going to put this out there, Logan. Are you ready for this hot take? I'm giving you your first hot take of the 2021 season.
Whoa.
Are you ready?
Right. I'm ready.
Randy Shannon will be Florida State's defensive coordinator before the end of the season.
No! Whoa. Are you sure? Are you sure? I know we're celebrating tonight, but are you already on the bourbon?
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Get out. Wow.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Too many salads. You've been eating all those salads. I think those greens are starting to turn into a little buzz there.
Listen here, Mr. Chick-fil-A. I believe that the Randy Shannon hire was done for one main reason: to light a fire under Adam Fuller. Adam Fuller, that defense, once again, it's not so much losing to the teams like Miami or losing to the teams like Notre Dame. It's losing to bad teams like Louisville. It's losing to bad teams like Pitt. And the defense looked god-awful in both of those games. This move is going to light a fire under Adam Fuller. And he's going to have two options: shape up or ship out. And you start the year off with Notre Dame. You have North Carolina before the midpoint of the season. Those are two tough games right there that if the defense gets exposed, there's going to be no reason to keep him around. Now, do I want there to be a massive blow-up? God, no. I want us to be 6-0 by that midpoint after that North Carolina game. Odds are it's not going to happen. I do believe that defense is going to falter at times, and it's going to be enough that Randy Shannon will get the job. And I think he would do a great job as defensive coordinator.
I don't know if I'm right there with you, Jason. First, I'll give my take on him coming in. I think after learning today, Jason, I think we learned this afternoon how much he's getting paid. 45. You got to take that. You take that any day of the week.
But I'm pretty sure he's also got that Charlie Weiss thing where he's got a couple different.
Oh, I'm sure he's got, yeah. But that ain't affecting FSU though. I'm just saying financially too, it's even better. I think for recruiting wise, definitely having his knowledge down in South Florida, and the state of Florida alone is huge. His past experience with coaching, being a head coach in Miami, he's got a lot of networking tools on hand with him, and he brings in some experience. He's not expected to be a coach. He's there to be an analyst, help out recruiting in any ways that he can. But I think this is just like a little, a good move for Norvell and the staff. And I think maybe you try to, I don't think it's necessary to maybe light something up under Adam Fuller, I would say. But I think I just don't see him being a defensive coordinator at FSU. I think Norvell would hire someone if Adam Fuller were to have a bad year this upcoming season, but it's just good to have extra knowledge there to help Adam Fuller in that role. But I think the biggest thing here is the pay that he's getting. Florida State's taking a big advantage of, and recruiting. Florida State is on a roll right now in recruiting, and this only helps it even more. And like you've been saying, Jason, this whole year since Norvell's, really been into recruiting now, this is his class coming in, you got to take advantage of those South Florida kids, getting those connections down, and that's only helps that. And I mean, that's just Norvell's making some big moves here by doing this. So let's see if he takes advantage of it, and Florida State's able to start getting some things built down there.
First of all, thank you, Roger Smith, for your $5. We appreciate it here. We take all your money. We will take all your money. We'll take sponsors. We'll take whatever. Logan got Chick-fil-A as sponsor, but he didn't get a sponsor for us, so we'll talk about that later. But Logan, I'm going to ask you a legitimate question. I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Uh-oh.
You think Randy Shannon, a man with defensive coordinator experience at Miami, defensive coordinator experience at Florida, also stops at TCU, stops at Arkansas. We're not talking about somebody who's coached at FIU and then Marshall, and then all of a sudden is coming up here, or whatever, Stony Brook, or whatever the hell school Adam Fuller came from. You legitimately think Randy Shannon was brought in here to be the defensive analyst?
I do.
And you think that that's it?
Mm-hmm. I do. I don't think the play here for Norvell is where this would be the replacement for Fuller at all. I don't believe it at all. I don't think so. I think he just is giving. I don't know whichever deal. I don't know who approached who or whatever, but it seemed like they were able to find an agreement on something. And I think he's just more of a bigger addition to this analyst role. We see it with Saban, where he puts in a lot of former coaches around him. And a lot of them are analysts. And, maybe he's working to grow up a tier, maybe get back into coaching somewhere else, but he wants to get back into it here in Tallahassee. I don't know, but I won't say that his agenda is really to say, hey, if Fuller ain't working it, then you're going to be our defensive coordinator. I just don't see it just yet. I don't think.
I love you, Logan. I do love you. I think of you like a little brother. I do love you. So I'm going to say this as a friend, as somebody who cares about you. Do not ever compare Mike Norvell to Nick Saban. Do not say
did he not just bring in a former head coach?
Do not compare 3-6 with us last year to Nick Saban. Please don't. I hate Nick Saban, but please don't do that.
No one's comparing him to the on-field play, but the hires that he's bringing in as an analyst goes in the same route as what Saban likes to do.
Nick Saban also lost 6 games his first year at Alabama.
Take Nick's name out of your mouth. Please do that. Okay? I just don't see Randy Shannon. I think I understand where you're coming from, Logan. I do agree with you to an extent. I think Randy Shannon is enough of a name, though, that you can't sit here and have him just as the analyst role. Do I think he moves into a position as a position coach, maybe linebacker coach, maybe something like that? Yes, I can see that as well. I just don't think you leave him sitting there as a quote-unquote defensive analyst. I feel like that is a waste of time with him. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of his talent, of his experience.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot more better options out there, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of ties for him in Florida and recruiting wise. But I think Norvell's happy where he's at with this coaching staff heading into the second year, having a full spring. You got Chris Marv, who a lot of people are high on. I think that group is going to play. That position group is going to take a leap this year. So I think that really only option would be if Fuller's gone, then you throw in Grantham. But or Shannon. I just don't see it just yet. But we'll see. This is why we're 100 weeks into this show. We'll be there. What? I'm bad at doing this. What, 30 weeks maybe? I don't know. Not 30 weeks. 18 weeks.
Let's say 5 months. We'll leave it at that. 5 months.
Yeah. 5 months. We'll figure it out.
There's no math here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football.
Never.
I'm going to say 22. That would be my guess off the top of my head. Because you go 5 months, 4 weeks per month, and then there's a couple of months that have 5 weeks.
I'll go 24. Shout out Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
There we go.
22, Doug Flutie. All right.
There you go. This is nice.
Can we go Florida State theme on 22 or 24? Jalen Ramsey, what was he?
He was number 8.
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's he in the NFL? 20?
We can do Telvin Smith, right?
Okay.
Telvin Smith, 22.
Telvin maybe. 24, I don't Terrence Parks. No, Terrence Smith, my bad.
Wasn't Lonnie Pryor 24?
I think no, he was 20.
There's got to be some good Florida State players at 22 and 24. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's do Telvin Smith and Lonnie Pryor.
Lonnie Pryor, shout out to Okeechobee. MVP of the Orange Bowl.